Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Kim J Sweet Healthy Life. I am Kim J, and I am on my second episode of Sugar Talks. Yes, that's where we actually can come in, the diabetic community to come in to talk a little bit about how the medications that we're on is helping us be
Hello,
able to
hello,
reclaim our
hello.
health.
Welcome to Kim J Sweet Healthy Life. I am Kim J. And
So, with that being said, this is episode 2, and Paula Hardin is my special guest. Thank you, Paula Hardin, for coming on to Sugar Talks with me. I know you're very, very excited. I'm excited. The community is excited to finally hear from you. Yes, yes, yes. So, you want to introduce yourself, Paula?
Well, like she said, I'm Paula Hardin, and I will just tell you a little bit about my journey. I started with prediabetes, and I was looking back over my records, and at 2014, I was at 6.2 A1C.
Okay.
And the doctor at that time, she wanted to put me on metformin, but I fought her and said, no, I'd rather work on my eating and exercise and my lifestyle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think we have a little delay in the internet, maybe acting up a little bit, Paula. Uh, let's see, just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if her internet comes back on. All right, Paula, your internet kind of went out a little bit. But you're back on now. You're good now. So go ahead on and just you can like just introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll go in the chat to say hey to everyone, and then we can get into your story.
Okay. Just
Yes,
let me know if that happens again.
yes, I will.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
again, I'm Paula Hardin. Thank you, Kim, for inviting me on
Yes,
Sugar Talks. And I was talking about, excuse me, my journey.
yes.
In 2014, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic, and I was at 6.2 A1C at that time. My doctor wanted to put me on metformin, and I fought her off on that. I said, no, I don't want to do that yet. Let me work on the lifestyle, the diet, the exercise, and
Yes.
which I did. But I had a real struggle. I have, lost and gained, I don't know how much weight over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
I became what they consider diabetic because my A1C was at 6.5.
Okay.
And the doctor then put me on metformin, which was terrible for me because it caused severe gastrointestinal issues. And I just suffered through it. I white knuckled that. So, fast forward, we tried that for a few years. And I finally told him, I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm just in too much distress.
Okay.
So he prescribed Ozempic. Well, okay. I was like hopeful. However, I stayed on that for, I think it was 5 weeks, and the scale started going up. I started gaining, and the side effects were, of course, all the side effects. I had the constipation, the nausea, everything that they list I had with Ozempic, but there was weight gain. So I told the doctor, I said, I don't want to do this. I was already way higher than I wanted to be. At that time, I think I was like 249. And my highest weight was 259. And then at that point, we got into it about other issues, that there was some other medication he wanted to put me on that I did not want to be on. And so I started looking for a new doctor.
Okay.
And thankfully I found a great doctor. She has been just a godsend. And then when I found her, I talked to her about, of course, we did a first meeting together, and she wanted to know how the Ozempic went, and I told her, and so she said, well, let's try Mounjaro. Let's try trizipatide instead of the semaglutide. I said, that's fine. I said, I would actually rather have that instead. I've heard better things about it. Yeah. So, of course, she prescribed it, and the insurance denied it. Okay. Actually, it was the prescription management company.
Right.
Denied it. It was CVS Caremark.
Okay.
And instead of appealing it, they wanted me to try Rybelsus. So I went on Rybelsus, and I tried that. For several weeks, it did not do anything for me. I wasn't getting anywhere with the weight. I felt terrible. It was the gastrointestinal issues again. So they then wanted me to switch to Trulicity. I did that. Then with Trulicity, I had a reaction to it. I had like a allergic reaction.
Right.
So the doctor then said, okay, she goes, I'm going to appeal this. We're going to document everything that you've been through, and we're going to ask for Mounjaro. We're going to push for that. So thankfully, we won the appeal, and I started on the 2.5 milligrams of Mounjaro.
All right. So thank you, Paula, for sharing that. At the beginning, so that people can know exactly kind of where you came from. The road that you had to endure. Before you actually started your Mounjaro journey. So let's jump into the chat real quick, Paula, and see who's here to see you, to hear your story tonight. Want to say hello to a few people, and then we can jump back in. How about that? All right. Sounds great. All right. So hello, Brenda Marlene. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. All right, Felicia Marie B. Paula, she said, I'm so excited. She has been waiting for this moment. Yes. Yes.
My middle name twin.
Yes. Twin. Exactly. Hello, Cookie. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Yes. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. All right, let's see here. All right. Cookie says, what does Paula sound like? So she's trying to figure out who you sound like. All right. So Brenda says, we're about to find out, honey. Yes. She said, can't wait. Can't wait. All right. So y'all hear her now. So you all know. All right. Front and center. Right. I remember Felicia saying she can't wait to hear her as well as see her as well. So she has heard her before on the phone. Yeah. But she could not wait until tonight to see you, Paula. All right. So Nicole says, hello. Hello, Nicole. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Let's see who else is here to see Miss Paula Hardin. And just to make sure, your last name is Hardin, right?
It's Hardin. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Felicia Marie B was trying to figure that out too.
Hardin.
Hardin, yes. I remember her saying that. I'm sorry.
Some people like to say Harding. I don't know why. There's no G.
Yes. Yes. Hello, Miss Mia. She says, hello, pretty lady. Oh, so sweet. Yes. Let's see who else is in the in the chat. All right. Let's see. Hello, low carb queen. How you doing, Auntie Queen? Thanks for coming in. Mia says, "Clicky, I left." Okay, comment. Okay, got that. All right. Let's see. Who else is here in the chat? Trying to put everybody things up. All right, this is me saying thanks everyone for coming in tonight to the second episode of Sugar Talks. Greatly appreciate you all. Hello, my Delilah. How are you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for coming in. Hello, Sunita. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Yes. All right. Okay, so she wanted to show some love. She said she's falling asleep. Oh, okay. Thanks for coming in. Hello, Amy. How are you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for coming in. I'm so happy you came over to support. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for hitting the like button. And just to remind everyone, if you all can hit the like button, I greatly appreciate it. Honey, I miss you. Yes. I miss you. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's see who else. Yes, thank you for the support. Yes. All right, let's see who else is here. Good for you, Paula. Cookie says a new doctor instead of staying with the other one was a smart move. Yes. So, of course, advocating for herself. I love that when she told me about it. Yes. We all, always say that we need to make sure that we're advocating for ourselves. And even if you have kids for some, and they may be, having ailments and everything, you want to make sure you're advocating for them as well. Yes. Very important. Hello, Vanessa. How are you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for coming in. Remember to thumbs up the live. Thank you, Queen. Yes. Hello, Z. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in tonight. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Oh, hello, Paul. How are you doing?
Paul.
Thanks for coming in to see Sweets Paula Hardin. Felicia says, I'm so happy to finally see you, Paula. Paula, you are a natural, honey. You don't look nervous at all.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Hello, Nisi. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is here. She said, look at Kim. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. I've known Nikki since 2024, I think it was. Yes, we met on, I think, Dee Dee's Live, Downsizing Diva. Yes. She was on a weight loss journey, better health journey. Let me turn my thing down, honey, because people like talking to me. Okay. All right. So, yes, very sweet lady, Miss Amy. All right, let's see. Okay, so in the bushes, low carb says, and she's editing. I know we got to get that content out, honey. I know, right? She says she misses us all. Let's see who else is in the chat. Okay, I think that is it. She said, "I need." Yes. Okay, so Mia says, listening while doing a rapid shop for cooking supplies. Sorry, if I missed anyone. Yes. Thank you all for coming in tonight. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so Paula, back to you, the start of the show tonight. All right, so you ended with you jumped on 2.5 Mounjaro, and you have type 2 diabetes, correct?
Yes, I do.
And you started off at, when you found out you had type 2 diabetes, what was your A1C at the time, and your blood glucose?
6.5, and it went up to 6.8.
Okay, all right. And that's over time when you were on the different medications?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It just kept going up.
Okay. Now, is that after the metformin that or was it on the GLP-1s that you were on? It
was the metformin. It was not controlling the blood sugar at all.
Okay, right. And that's something they want to put us on normally first. They're like, that's the first defense mechanism they doctors try to put us on when you have type 2 diabetes, oftentimes, right?
Right.
And so, yeah. So I remember them asking me to go on metformin, and I was like, no, not at all.
Right. Well, you were smart.
Right. I knew some people that,
Had been on it.
yeah, and they had a lot of GI issues, and I'm like, yeah, not so much for me. So
Right.
I asked, can I be on Mounjaro? Yes.
Now,
So
my
for you,
my husband
mhm,
has been on it, and it's not a problem for him. He's not
okay,
having those issues like I had, but it was, I wouldn't want to go through that again.
right. I know that's right. I know that's right.
Mhm.
And I'm so happy I told them no too, not just because of the
Yeah.
GI issues, but when I read up on it after I came home from the hospital, because I had to go to the hospital because mine was so far up, my A1C. So, after I came home, I looked it up and I found out that it also is not good for people that have kidney disease, which I had already
Ooh,
had for some
yeah.
years. So I'm like, I'm so happy I did not take that medication. So I had to advocate for myself too. So I know exactly what you're talking about when you say advocate for yourself. So I'm
Mhm.
so excited that you did, like, Cookie said, that you advocated for yourself in this effort to, get on something that was going to be, that's going to best serve you. So
Right.
yes. So let's go ahead and go into a little bit more into your journey when it came to, going into Manjaro. Um, yes. Oh,
Well,
before you do that, wait a minute. I
okay.
remember you saying something about Ozempic. So you want to talk a little bit about that? I know you said you gained weight, but how much weight did you gain with
I
Ozempic?
gained I gained 10 pounds
Okay.
on Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I was 249, so it pushed me to 259.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I don't want to go any higher. I
Right.
don't want to keep on this and just for it to keep going up. The interesting thing about that
Mm-hmm.
is my son and my brother also went on that, and
Okay.
they also had the same issue.
Oh
They
wow.
gained weight on it.
Right.
So
So Ozempic doesn't always, that medicine just was not for you. Now, of course, I know some people are on Ozempic and they
and
did
they
very
did
well.
beautiful. Yes.
Yes. But for you, not so much.
No. It
Yes.
Whatever it is with that
Mhm.
semaglutide, it just does not work for me.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. And so I know, I know some people even have like even issues with it as far as being allergic to it for different
Mhm.
reasons. Yes. So it did the opposite for you, and you were on it for how long?
I was on it 5 weeks, but I didn't want to stay on it any longer because I had already started inching up. And then when
Okay.
I got to the 10-pound mark, I said, no, we're
Right.
not going to stay on this any longer because it's going the opposite. It's doing opposite,
Okay.
which with me, I've
Mhm.
had that happen to me in the past with
Okay.
medications.
Hmm.
It'll say it does this, and for
Right.
me, it will do the exact opposite.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And I'm just like, ah,
Yes, yes, I know exactly what you mean because I know with me too, it seemed like it's always opposite of everybody else. So
right,
I get it. I get it.
right.
Similarities we have, right?
Yeah,
So yes, never tried Ozempic before, but seemed like different things, has happened like that in my life. I'm like, what is going on? You know? So
right.
yes. Okay, and then you said Trulicity, it gave you an reaction. With the reaction that you had, like, was it an itching or what type of, did a rash or?
It was a rash. And
Gotcha.
so when I told my doctor, she's so good. When I
Mhm.
told her, I sent her a note in the
Yes.
chart, this is what's happening. She said, get off of that.
Okay.
Just we're going to take you off.
Right. And the PBMs had you doing that, which is like say care. Do you have CVS?
Well, we don't now, but we
Okay.
did at the time had
Okay.
CVS Caremark. And
Caremark.
yes,
Yes.
they
Okay.
were the ones that were dictating it, not the
Right.
doctor,
Right.
which
Right.
is
Right.
so frustrating.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, and I
They're the
know,
middleman, for
right,
the doctors who, versus the the pharmacy itself. They have those middlemen, and unfortunately, and sometimes it doesn't work, for us. It doesn't. They don't serve us well, to be honest.
right,
So I get you for that.
exactly.
Right. Which is why a lot of people have had to get off of medications. Zepbound, for instance. A lot of people had to get off of Zepbound because of the PBMs, and also, even people. on Mounjaro. They've gotten their blood sugars down, wonderfully, into a good range, and back in the normal range. And after so long, they have been making some people on Mounjaro, or Ozempic, get off the medications.
Which
and
is
maybe
crazy.
Yes,
That's crazy because, okay, so you get your blood sugar under control.
Right.
You get it at a good number,
yes.
and they take you off. So they think you're just going to magically stay there.
Right.
It's
exactly.
the medication that's helping us to control that.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
as soon as they go off, for the most part, people are going to just start shooting right back up.
Exactly. And, they say, once you're a diabetic, you're always a diabetic. Even if you go back in the normal range, you may be in remission, but they're still considered diabetic. So I'm like, if that's the case, then why are you taking us off the medication?
Right.
So, it's about money. That's in my opinion.
Unfortunately, true.
Mm-hmm. And we're not doctors or, anything of that nature. I have a disclaimer down, within our on our platform, just to let you all know, we're not doctors. This is our personal journeys that we're sharing, of course, with you all today. And so, just to let you all know, who Paula is in a more, intimate setting, right? So that's what we're doing tonight. So let's go into comments a little bit, and then we can, start your Mounjaro journey conversation. All right. So you don't seem nervous. They say.
Cookie.
She would be sputtering, shaking, right? Cookie. Oh my God.
You know what she could do? She could do like Sia, the the lady that sings. I think she quit doing that, but she did have this cover over her face.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, she's a celebrity.
Okay.
That, she's a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of her songs.
Okay.
But anyway, she would put this, face on, this like wig, or and it would just cover her face.
Okay.
So that
right.
You couldn't see
right.
That's
what you can hear her voice, but not yes.
Exactly. You could hear her sing, but not see her.
Right. Exactly. Look, now I'm thinking about the Masked Singer or something like that.
That.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Yes.
There you go.
Hello, Pammy. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for coming in to learn about Paula Hardin. All right. Let the typos begin.
Man, I can relate.
Right. So Sunita said that's what my doctor put me on. I'm still on it with Mounjaro. Gotcha. All right. So she's saying, I think she's talking about metformin. Yes. And I know a lot of people are on the medication, both medications. Yes. Hello, Ruth. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well tonight. All right. Let's see. Hello, Sunshine. How are you doing, Sunshine, today? Yes. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Hello. How are you doing? Namaste. All right. Hello. I said something. I said Pammy. So wow, they gain weight. Yes, some people gain weight on Ozempic. Just the same thing as Mounjaro. Yes. Namaste. All right. Let's see. Okay. Just trying to get through this chat real quick. Hold on. She like, period, Paula. Okay. Sunita says, and that's what I was just saying about it. There's no way to get off of it without having setbacks. Exactly, Sunita. Exactly. Now, there are some people that can get off the medication, and especially like if they're on a Zepbound, like on weight loss medication, they may be okay with it. Of course, you definitely would have to be very, very strategic. If you get off of it, you may even have to go on something like a very, very low carb, like a keto diet or something like that to keep you off of it. But yes, most people at some point eventually start needing to, jump back on the medication. So I'm not sure why they do that. Some people, they even like put diabetics, they'll put them on like a Jardiance or, something like that, or metformin again, and then find out later on that the medicine does not work and you have to go back, to taking a GLP-1 medication. So yes, I think that's crazy, So Cookie said that's gotta be frustrating for doctors too, their patients to be taken off the medication just for their numbers to shoot back up. Exactly, Cookie. All right, let's see. All right, so Amy says, I am convinced that the insurance and pharmacy companies saw too much positive progress in people's health because of GLP-1 medications, and now they are either taking or turning it near possible to keep. Yes, I do believe so too.
Insane.
Yes.
It's insane.
And I know the medication is very expensive, so hopefully they'll figure out something, to where they can come down so that, this medication is more available to, everybody. Okay. Everybody. All right. So Sunshine today says, I hope not too many of you are impacted by it. I am not, but a lot of people are. Yes, a lot of people are. And having to, even go on the compound, or even some of them having to discontinue, even the compound medications. Because I know they're doing, different things with that too. They're still fighting that, trying to tooth and nail, trying to make sure, that they shut down the compound companies. All right. So, hello, Jen F. How you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for coming in. Yes. Greatly appreciate you tonight. Okay, so Amy says, call me crazy, but they want us sick and unhealthy because good health doesn't benefit their profits, their bottom lines. Yes. I understand where you're coming from. Not sure what's going on for sure, but I definitely, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, it does.
All right, Sunshine. Awesome. She made a goal.
Oh, congratulations.
Awesome, Sunshine. Yay! Great stuff. Yes. All right. So Nisi says, doctor took me off of Zepbound and my sugar level rose through the roof. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Nisi. I'm sorry to hear that. So hopefully your doctor, or you may have to find another doctor. So let's go back and let's just talk about that a little bit, and then I'll jump back in the chat real quick, just to kind of finish up the chat. Actually, I'm almost done. So let me check. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so yeah, Sunita, yes, it's very expensive. Yes.
Thank you, Jen.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, Paula is very beautiful in real life. Yes. That's what it seems like, Pammy. Cookie says, oh no, Nisi, I hope the doctor learned from you so that they won't, or don't rather, make the mistake with other patients. Hopefully so. All right. And so Sunshine says she's moving into maintenance, made a goal, a little nervous trying to figure out if I can take medicines or keep taking it at a lower dose. Decisions. Exactly that. All right. And hopefully everything goes well with you, Sunshine. Pammy says, I'm so excited that you have Paula on today. Yes. You see her.
Yeah.
It's so neat to get to know people in our community on screen. Yes. Because so Paula is not a, not a content creator. So yes, I would love for those, look, commercial break. I would love for those who are on Mounjaro, that have diabetes, to come on to Sugar Talks. Yes, I want these episodes to keep going. I think it's very important for us to be able to share a little bit with you all, especially those who are not on, that's not diabetic, share some information with you all so you all get to know, the things that we deal with besides weight loss, okay? Besides weight loss. So that's why I have Paula here today. She's so gracious again, accepted. Actually, she was like, hey, I'll do it. I was asking the chat one day, I'm like, hey, who would love to come on Sugar Talks? And she was like, me, I will. And she's also thinking about, ladies and gentlemen, maybe starting her own channel one day. So she's thinking about it now. So don't pressure her too much. This can be a lot, right? But, she'll let us know, in due time. Yes. All right. So Paula, we're back to you, sweetheart. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about your Mounjaro journey. You started off at what what weight, and then, and you said 2.5, and then you can, go on and tell us what you want to tell us tonight.
Okay. Well, I started, my starting weight was 259.
Okay.
And when I started 2.5, I lost 18 pounds in the first month.
Awesome.
And I was thinking, oh, I'm cooking with gas now. And I think the second, it was like 5.9 pounds. And then, it kind of was chugging along. And then all of a sudden, it started slowing down. And it was like 2.5 and then 3.5. So it slowed down from the 18. So I started going up, of course, to the 5, then the 7.5, then 10, then 12.5. And now I'm at 15 milligrams.
Okay. So when did you see, the weight start slowing down? What do you remember what month?
Let's see, because my doctor bumped me up to 5 after 3 months. Okay. And she bumped me up to 5, but I was still losing. I was still, like 6.3, 5.9. And then I went on 7.5 and it dropped down to 1.4.
Okay. So how many months was that?
And I was on 7.5. I was on that for actually about 5 months.
Okay. Gotcha. So at 7.5, that's when it really started dropping?
Yeah, I mean, I started slowing down.
Yeah, slowing down, right.
So I don't know what would have happened if I would have stayed on the lower dose, if I would have kept losing, or because some people have. I heard a lady say that she actually lost all her weight on the lowest dose. And I was like, wow, well, I don't know if that would have happened or not. I just don't know. I can't go back, unfortunately. But then I went to 10 milligrams, and I was on that for about 5 months, and then went to 12.
Okay.
And I was on 12. Let's see. I was on 12 for about 4 months, and then I went to 15, and I've stayed on that ever since.
Okay.
Of course, the 15.
Right. And you've lost about 77 pounds?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I've lost 79 pounds now.
Yes. Awesome. I know when we initially talked, you said 77, but I was like, oh my gosh. So in the description, I'm like, I'm going to put about 77 because you may have lost a little more. So yay, Paula.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you.
To get here, but I finally got that.
Awesome.
Almost 80.
Okay, awesome. So where are you trying to go, do you have like a goal weight that you're trying to get to, or you don't know yet?
I have sort of a goal weight in mind. I want to get like 85 pounds down and then see where I'm at and how I'm feeling.
Gotcha.
And if I'm feeling good, because when I talked to the doctor, I asked her, I said, hey, what number do you think I should be at? Are you, locked into the BMI? And she said, no. She said, that doesn't matter to me at all. She said, what matters is how you feel and what your numbers are looking like. And she says, you're in the driver's seat. Gotcha. So I was like, yay, that is really good to hear.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm happy they didn't put, make you go up fast, so you were on your, the different doses, for some months before you went up. So versus just pushing you up like they were doing initially, where they were like, okay, every month you had to go up,
Right.
Yes. So you were able to get like some, a bit amount of weight off within the dose that you were on. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Right.
Yes.
No, she was really good about that as far as not pushing that too fast.
Right, right. And if you all, have questions in the chat for Paula, put QQQ so we can find those questions just in case I cannot go through like all of the comments. I'm going to try to skip through some of them, not trying to, because I don't want the thing to go 5 hours, of course. But, and everybody I know have been excited for this night to finally meet Paula, whatever. And I know we also, like chatting with each other too on the lives, right? That I love lives because of that. So we can talk to one another like family, right? So yes, make sure you put question QQQ, which is question. So we'll know in the comments just in case we need to, grab hold to that before we get back to anything else. All right. Thank you all for that. Okay. So Paula, 79 pounds down thus far. You started your Mounjaro journey when? How long ago?
I started that on May the 3rd of 2024.
Okay. So you're coming up on an anniversary.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to be, 85 pounds down then, but we'll see what happens.
Awesome. So that'll be a 2-year anniversary for you.
Yes.
May. Yes, in May. All right. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And hopefully 85 pounds down. Yeah. You're gonna put that up in the atmosphere for you. Pray about that.
Yes.
And reach your goal, honey. Yes. All right, y'all heard her. Y'all put some prayers up for those who know how to pray.
Yes.
Yes. So, okay. Now, Paula, I remember you too talking about, when it comes to the, like as far as says your diet is concerned, your regimen, is concerned, have you changed regimens, throughout the journey, or have you kind of stayed on the same thing? Did you start off, kind of eating whatever, and then you, as time progressed, you, went into a like better nutrition? Let us know about that.
Yes. When I first started out, now my doctor, other than just telling me how to take the shot, mm-hmm. she, asked or recommended that I go to see a dietitian.
Okay.
And it took me a few tries to find a dietitian. Mm-hmm. And I have one now with Southwest Dietitian Group.
Okay.
Who she's actually out of Washington, but we, Skype each other.
Yes.
And she's really, really good. Mm-hmm. But before that, I went on YouTube, I went on Facebook, I went on different social media platforms to see if I could find, information. Hey, what's everybody doing, and the first thing I heard was up your protein, and so that's the first thing that I did, okay. Started looking at that protein.
Yes.
And yes, I did change what I was eating and the way I was eating. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that happened, that one of these lovely things that you all will know about, is the food noise stopped.
Okay.
And I was having food noise where I was thinking about food, I would be at the table and I would not want to stop eating. Mm-hmm. I would feel full, but I'd still want to eat.
Yes.
I would I had a huge craving for chocolate.
Okay.
And I was eating really too much of it.
Gotcha.
But once I started Mounjaro, the cravings for chocolate really subsided a lot.
Awesome.
And another thing that was weird, just weird to me, mm-hmm. was I loved potato chips, and I just ate potato chips, and okay. I could eat the whole bag, Mm-hmm. But once I started Mounjaro, I didn't even crave them at all.
Awesome.
Some of my cravings just went away.
Yes.
Which was wonderful for me.
Yes.
And that food noise where you're just, just constantly thinking about food, food, you know, and you're worrying about food, and you're worrying about how much you eat and how much you didn't eat, and you know, all of that, and obsessing over it. That just completely quieted down. And the first day that I knew that I was really onto something was I was sitting at the table with my plate, and of course I was from the Clean Your Plate Club. You don't get up from the table unless you're, you know, you've eaten everything. So me being strong-willed, we had a lot of, you know, tussle about that, because I didn't want to eat everything on my plate. But anyway, the first victory, I guess, non-scale victory or whatever, was leaving things on my plate. And I looked at that and I thought, I'm full. I don't want any more. I don't need that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like revolutionary.
I know, right?
Yeah, it was like, I don't have to eat that. I can throw it in the trash, you know? But that was something that was really exciting for me. Is that I didn't have to do that. And the cravings for certain things were gone. And so the things that were my nemesis were no longer, you know, a problem.
And you started like when you first started the 2.5, or as you know, moved into the higher doses?
That was probably, I noticed that at 5. You know, I started noticing that at 5 milligrams.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Awesome, Paula. That is so wonderful. Yes. All right. And then, so once you got to, you know, you said you started like getting a little bit better with nutrition. Do you have like a specific, you know, way of eating now, or, you know, do you like track your foods?
I do. I track my food mainly because I don't want to eat too little. Because the first 2 days, I'm not feeling that, you know, I'm not feeling like eating much. So I wanted to make sure I tracked it so that I didn't undereat. And I did a DEXA scan to find out where my basal metabolic rate is, the amount of calories that you eat if you do nothing. You know, if you just laid in the bed all day, that's what BMR is. And I found out what it was. So, of course, I was told you have to have because I was eating below that. I was below my BMR, and the person that did my DEXA scan said, you need to move those up. Because what's happening, and that was when I was getting those like 1.4, you know, barely a pound in a month numbers, because I was eating so low that it was not high enough, you know, to sustain me. So when I changed that, and yes, I started tracking and started, you know, putting vegetables and fruit and protein, lean protein, and watching my carbs, not eating too much, because of course with being diabetic, we have to watch our carbs. And so I did that. And then along the way is when I found the dietitian that I'm seeing now. And she tweaked things a little bit for me. Because I wasn't eating enough fiber, and, you know, I needed to drink a little bit more. And so she tweaked those things, and that helped me to, you know, keep the scale moving.
Awesome. Yes, fiber is definitely is important to make sure that you can go poo. If nothing else, other reasons why you should take in fiber as well. You know, just in your, you know, health in general, you know, it helps. But, you know, I'm happy that you know, did decide to track, because again, you know, some of us do have issues with, you know, not eating enough, like you said, it's not even sometimes, you need to do the tracking to see, are you eating too much? But then there's times where you need to also track to make sure that you're not eating, too little too, right?
Right.
Because like you said, the BMR, that's when you want to make sure, you're saying how much energy is my body, burning at rest, like you said. So yes, if you are a person that goes to the gym, walks a lot, very active person, you know you can burn a lot more than what you think you're burning. So
Yes.
you need to
That's
make sure
very
you're
true.
fueling that body. Yes.
Mm.
So I'm happy you were able to do that. Having a dietitian is so important too, to make sure that you are eating the right types of food for yourself. you know Going to the doctor, like, Paul, I know you definitely have a doctor. We want to talk a little bit about that. Where you had to, like you said, get rid of the doctor that you had
Yeah.
initially to
Had to
move
say,
on to
"You're
somebody,
fired."
right, to help you, with this endeavor. So just being able to get to a dietitian, having the right type of doctor, very important. Going to your doctor is so important to make sure that, they know exactly what's going on with your body. You can tell them what's going on, at home, and then they're looking at your blood work to make sure that everything is going well, or if you need to tweak some things. So that's awesome that you are, like I said, advocating for yourself, taking care of everything so that you can, make sure this medicine is serving you best, right? So that's awesome. Now, when you said you had to get rid of your doctor, that's because of what now? The old doctor?
For one thing, he wasn't listening to me.
Okay.
And that was the problem. He
Mm-hmm.
was just not listening,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to do things his way instead of bringing me in and us having a partnership.
Okay.
So that's when I realized,
Mm-hmm.
I can do better.
Right, right. Yes, awesome. And I know some people, coming into the chat. So I wanted you to go back over that again, just making
Mhm.
sure that we're advocating for ourselves. If for
Yes,
some reason, you have a doctor, you don't have to stay with that doctor for life. If for some reason
exactly.
they're not serving you well, they're not listening to you, what you're saying, they're not asking you questions about what's going on at home, then you may have to find someone else, um, that you think can better serve you. It may take that, and that's awesome that you decided to speak up for yourself, Paula, not
Yes,
just go by what they're saying, or what
right.
have you. I know that all too well as well, because I had
Yes,
to talk to my doctors. I'm like, we're not going up, every month. We're not doing that.
right.
Every time I went back to him, he's like, you want to go up again? No, I don't. I just started this one. Now, it's nothing wrong with going up on, titrating up
No,
on medication. I'm not saying that.
true.
But, just knowing that if I just started a month ago, I don't want to go up right away. So he's like, okay, cool. I understand that. So just being able to advocate for yourself. So I'm happy that you have, doctors is listening and not just, going by what the book they learn in books,
Yeah,
or it's statistics, you know.
right.
So yes, 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 yes. So that is awesome, Paula. Let's see let me see what the chat is saying, just in case they're saying something to you and want to talk to you about, some things. Um, let's see. So excited to have you, Paula, on today. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I think we said that already. Let's see. Grant has come in the building. Thank you, Grant, for coming in. I hope you're doing
Hey,
well.
hi,
Yes.
Grant.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. I'm gonna try to go through this. Honey, I know when Grant was in this chat, he was the first person on Sugar Talks. Thank you again, Grant, for that. But he was able to go through this chat way faster than me, honey. He was like, "Oh, they said this, they said that." I'm like, "Yes, Grant," because I can't even spell as fast as you. My eyes like, "Nope." That's wonderful, Paula. You done took me out of the bushes, honey. Starting the chat. Yes, you heard of Low Car Queen. Let's see here. Let me see. All right. So Pamela says, "Oh, okay, that's something I thought said Paula." All right. Let's see. Cookies. Okay, she's talking to Nisi. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Okay, so Nisi's nickname is Kim. Is your nickname Nisi now? No, it's not Niecy, Pammy. Miss Low Carb Queen calls me Niecy. I call her Auntie Queen. She calls me Niecy. Yes. Let me see. Let's see. I'm going down this list, honey. All right, there you go. There you go. Y'all see it. 79 pounds down. Amazing, Paula. Thank you, Paul. Yes, yes. Look, one more time. Still victory. Yes, yes. Felicia thought it was 77, but girl, it's 79 now. How about that? How about that?
Baby.
Yes. Okay, baby. Yes.
Give me those 2 pounds.
Right.
I worked hard for those 2 pounds.
I know that's right. Yes, ma'am. Okay, there you go. She came back a little self-correct. Yes. Congratulations, Amy says.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. All right, here's a question, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me go right here. She said congratulations to you as well. All right, so Nicole said, question, honey. So Paula, how long have you been on Mounjaro?
So it's been almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years, May the 3rd.
Okay, May 3rd. Yes. Awesome, awesome. All right, so Ruth says congratulations to you, Paula. All right, Mr. Darium has come in the building. Hello, hello.
Darium.
How are you doing, Darium? Yes, peeking in from the bushes. But I have to say, hey, Paula Hardin. Yes.
That's funny.
Hello, Darium. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. All right. Pema said, right, you don't have to read the hell. Yes, right. I do want to say hello to the people that come in. If I don't get you tonight, y'all, please forgive me. Look, charges to my eyes, not my heart. All right, Mia said congratulations. All right, Cookie says question. Paula, did you go through any plateaus? She's getting into that, y'all. If so, how long did they last? And did you do anything in particular to break the plateau? All right,
Good
Paula.
question.
Back to you.
Yes, Cookie, I did. I went through a 4-month plateau. And my relationship with God did improve during that time because I was praying a lot. Please break this plateau. Get me out of the dungeon.
Yes.
But yes, what I started doing, and I don't want my son to hear this because he's going to get the big head, but he told me, he says, Mom, you need to be moving more. You need to be getting out and moving more. You need to be doing more exercise. So I did. I got out and moved more. And son of a gun, it happened.
It worked.
Yes, it worked.
So we don't want to hear from our kids sometimes because you're like, we're raising them or have raised them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But that did help move the needle.
Yes, awesome.
And I did go over my food journals and, saw is there anywhere that I need to change things. And of course there were. So I made tweaks on that. But the biggest thing was movement.
Yes, definitely so. Definitely so. I remember when I first started my journey, I knew movement needed to happen. I remember doctors, just along the way before I started my journey, before I, when I just had high blood pressure and kidney disease, or even before then, they're like, hey, you need to move. You need to move. Yes. 150 minutes a week. You should be moving, right? It helps you lose weight. It helps you, it helps your health and everything, So yes, it can help you go poo as well, So
right,
it's very important. And I remember when I hurt my knee, tore my patella, and my doctor told me, for some reason when I got home, it started hurting real bad, and I'm like, why is it, like sharp pains going through my leg? And I was scared to move. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't mess anything up. And I called my doctor and his, which is actually his wife, but his APRN, she was like, no, you want to move. You want to move. Your body is made to move. We're supposed to move our bodies, So with that being said, if you have the legs and the arms that will move, get to moving, as much as you possibly can. You start off slow and you can, work your way up. After a while, when I started doing that on my journey, I started craving it. I started craving it. The body wants it to happen. Yeah.
Exactly. Your body wants movement.
Right.
So exactly. Get that movement in.
Yes. So yes. Okay. So the next question, Pammy says, since I had a gastric bypass stomach, it wasn't hard for me to eat smaller size. But how do you feel the GLP-1 helped you with portion control? Oh, she said, oops, you're talking about it now. Break it down just real quick, just for those who, didn't hear it at first. One more time, Paula.
Yes, it did help me with portion control because I wasn't as hungry.
Yes.
And so I was actually eating less.
Right.
So it did help me with controlling my portions. Mm-hmm. And I started actually using a smaller plate.
Yes.
That definitely was, that definitely happened. Yes,
it happened.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it helped contribute to your weight loss, mm-hmm. and not just your, just diabetes, mm-hmm. Because sometimes, eating smaller portions definitely help with diabetes as well. Say if you, for some reason you have low blood sugars, which we can get in a little bit about that if you do have experienced low blood sugars. But say if you have low blood sugars, sometimes you may need to eat a little, smaller portions throughout the day instead of, say, 3 big meals. So sometimes dietitians will let you know that, so that you can, just have a little bit, here and there versus mm-hmm. a big old plate, and that's fine too. So even for those who are just trying to lose weight that may not be diabetic, if for some reason you cannot get the amount of food that you're supposed to be getting in, like, amount of calories that you're supposed to be getting in, and out of protein you're supposed to be getting in, or, whatever, fiber, then you may want to go to, think about doing smaller meals throughout the day versus, and I remember I was just looking at today, somebody talking about that. That's what her dietitian told her, she's on a GLP-1 as well. And she said just the same thing. Smaller meals, can help you. And she's on Zepbound. So yes, it can help the diabetic community as well as the non-diabetic community, with that. So awesome, Paula. All right, let's see if there's somebody else saying, having a question real quick. Pammy did say something about her. She had chocolate cravings, and then it subsided, whatever, when she went into maintenance. So that's awesome.
Yes, I was having horrible chocolate cravings before. Mm-hmm. And I think what it was is the blood sugar was so out of whack.
Yes.
For me that, I would want to bring, it up. And then, I would have a crash, and then it was a seesaw effect.
Yes. Very vicious cycle, honey. Vicious cycle.
It is. It's a very vicious one.
Right. And I know Felicia said she had, issues with those chips, honey. So she understands you. She's all right there together. Yes. Look, Queen says she's right there with you. Mm-hmm. Clean your plate club. Mm-hmm. Yes. We used to have to, we were taught that. Look, I know people used to say there are people in Ethiopia that's hungry.
Oh yeah.
Which is true. They were, and they
starving children.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they had those commercials that made you feel
right. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but now we can say, hey, because if you're not hungry, if you're full, then why, make me eat the rest of the food,
Right.
But now we don't have to worry about doing that, right?
Correct.
We know that it's okay to put some up to, maybe for the next day, even if you don't want to throw it away, maybe put something up for the next day, or, the next meal, would help. But I don't have to eat everything that's on my plate. And then at some point, like you said, you'll go down in the size of plate because you already know I don't need all that food. As you continue to be on this medication, you learn, how much food you can stomach at one time.
True.
Awesome. Yes. Cookie says yes. I haven't bought chips in 2 years, other than a few bags of Quest chips, which of course Quest chips have more protein in it, so she get the protein benefit of the Quest chips. Do
Yeah,
you
I
use
like
Quest,
those
Paula?
too. Yes,
Okay. Yes.
I like those.
Yes. So Pamela says my husband and daughter noticed I wasn't eating as much as even before Mounjaro. Like one street tack filled me up.
Oh,
I think you said
taco.
taco.
I bet
Yes.
it's a taco.
One street taco filled her up. Okay, cool. Yes. All right. So Mia says they have the new balloon procedure to fill your stomach instead of having to have it rerouted. Okay, so that's if you you want to have a procedure done, you can do that. That helps you, with I guess weight loss.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Mia, for that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's go on down. All right, so Miss Jen is driving. Okay, gotcha. Hello, Positive T. How you doing? Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Greatly appreciate it. Yes. All right. So Miss Cookie says she can have chocolate every day now, but in the form of Profi. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Cookie. So you don't have to have candy anymore. If you just still crave chocolate, you can find it in other ways. You can get that protein in too. So she's doing Profi, which is coffee and a protein powder. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she also eats barbells. Bear bells. I don't know why I'm saying barbells.
I do that too.
Bear bells. I don't know why we're gonna say barbells.
I know. I was. I guess.
Yes, Bear Bells, honey. Chocolate protein bar, very good protein bar, very very delicious, honey. Okay, and if once you get used to, especially though certain types of sugars, not always eating table sugar, those Bear Bells are very good. I every now and again have a Bear Bell. Actually, just bought 4 from Walmart. Not bad of a price. I know Vitamin Shop they're like $3 and something cent. But I was able to get it for a little bit cheaper, like 2 something,
Yeah, they
buying
have
the
them.
4 pack at
Mm-hmm.
Walmart. Yes. All right. What else did she say? Let's see. I never used to eat this much chocolate. You know what? Sometimes when it comes to chocolate too, as you get a little older, that's when I started eating chocolate like crazy when I got a little older, menopausal age, honey.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Totally.
All right. Let's see here. What else is there? I wish I had connection to a registered dietitian sooner. Pammy says, yes, the one I am with now has given me so many great tips, more than food, but also about skincare and strength training. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. All right. I read about it, and the people lost so much being full and had to eat lighter types of food. Yes, yes, yes. And she's talking about that balloon in the stomach. Okay. All right. So Ms. Mia says, yes, Nourish is the company that hosts or has many registered dietitians, and you can search for certain characteristics like I choose GLP-1. And I got to see their picture and a bio. Awesome, awesome. And my insurance is paying for Nourish. Nourish is a company that has registered dietitians that can help you. If for some reason, for those who are in the chat or those in the replay, that can help you if you need a dietitian and you're looking for one. It's a telehealth type, company, and they definitely. I've heard so many great things about Nourish. Just in case want to look it up.
Right.
All right.
And the company that I use, Southwest Dietitian Group,
Yes.
I found out about this through Gina of Anchor Moments.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She had the owner of the company on, and she was on a GLP-1.
Okay.
So all of her dietitians are trained to work with GLP-1 patients.
Okay.
And that was what actually got me interested in that, and it is also covered by insurance.
Yes. Now I called Nourish because I have one of my Sweet Life Squad, Monty. she actually told me that that's what she used, and she talked so highly of her dietitian. And so I called I have Blue Cross Blue Shield
Right.
um, insurance company, and they were saying because it's telehealth, my insurance does not cover unless you're able to go to the office. So I talked to someone about what they told me, and so what I was going to do is call them directly and also see if they have a way around that. So
Right.
yeah, so I'm going to give them a
There
call. I
should
think she
be.
told me that. Yes.
Yeah, because I have Blue Cross Blue Shield as well.
Right.
And this is not, I don't go into the office.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, we actually do telehealth
Okay.
or, Skype, whatever.
Right.
So, and they do cover it. So,
Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Now, with and of course, depending on the insurance company, the plan, that your company is
Exactly.
using.
They have
Now,
all kinds of plans.
right.
So it's great.
Exactly. So, with I'm on my husband's healthcare, and so, with their plan, they did not, put that in where it has to be. I could like with my dietitian, I can talk to her over Skype as well, or what we use Zoom,
Mhm.
but or like I had one where I was using it's another one. What's the one with
Right.
Microsoft Teams. I use them as well. But as long as the office, is located in my hometown, then that's fine for me to talk, over the airways or, over the phone. But I have to see, if Nourish can find a loophole through that for me.
Right.
Yes. All right, let's see. I'm trying to go through this little chat. Hello, Kyle. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. This is Miss Paula Hardin. She's on a Mounjaro journey. Yes, GLP-1 medication to help her with diabetes. Paula, what else has Mounjaro helped you, with, or I'll say since you've been on your Mounjaro journey, what else has helped you, gain or reclaim your health?
Well, of course, my A1C dropped from 6.8 to 5.4.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm so thankful for that.
So you're back in the normal range.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. That is in the normal range now. So far, so good on that. I've had no pushback yet from them on that. Yes. Just a sense of well-being. I feel, in fact, I was walking up a hill and I wasn't out of breath anymore.
Awesome.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
For me. And another thing, now I'm kind of in remission with this, but another thing I have going on is it's called interstitial cystitis.
Okay.
And what that is it's a bladder condition where there is on the bladder, there's you can call them ulcers. They're called Hunter lesions, which what happens is when your bladder is full for you to go void, it's painful. Urination is painful. You just hurt all the time. And that has subsided. Now I still go into the doctor for treatment for that because sometimes I have flare-ups where that starts bothering me again.
Okay.
But that is subsided a lot.
Awesome.
So that is something that's, I'm so thankful for.
So what did they say started that?
Well, what started interstitial cystitis for me, first I had, when my youngest son was born, and I didn't know this, but after the birth, I was in so much pain that I was just, and my blood pressure just shot out of the, sky.
Right.
But I had what's called a urethral diverticulum, which is what it is it's a sac that in the urethra that fills up with either pus or urine, or and that was what was causing so much pain. It was, the pressure and pain. So I found a urologist gynecologist who removed that.
Okay.
And then when we were talking about, because my eating had to change with that, I had to go on what's called a alkaline diet, where you have your pH is basically at 7, I think it's 7.0 or something. What that means is a lot of citrusy type fruits, drinks, especially like aspartame and Sweet and Low and things like that. I had to completely stop. I was drinking a lot of Diet Cokes because, I wanted to lose weight. So what do you do when you're wanting to lose weight? You drink a Diet Coke.
Yes, instead of sugary. Yeah.
Right, because I wanted to get rid of the sugar. But that was something that was really bad for me, and it was exacerbating the problem that I was having with the interstitial cystitis. So when he removed that diverticulum, then he did an examination, and they found I had to be put under anesthesia, to have this procedure where they distend the bladder and they look around with a camera to see what's going on inside. And they found those lesions, little ulcers, if you will. And that's how I found out that was what I had. And then at that point, I went on a more restrictive diet. And one of the things, since I've started Mounjaro, I've been able to add some of the fruits back that I couldn't eat before, like berries and, acidic type fruits. I can add those back now, and they don't bother me. Okay, I've lost you as far as your mic or something.
I'm sorry.
Did you mute yourself?
My mic sounds nice. Check one.
Not
bad.
Moving, but I don't hear anything.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yes. I was saying, is there anything else that, before I say that, that's a good thing to, that you had mentioned just about, the sugars. So even with, say for diabetics, I know they, doctors, mentioned that we can, take in, artificial sugars, in hopes that, you don't want to crave the regular table sugars and things like that anymore. So it's kind of almost like, let's wean him off of regular sugar. So, everybody can't go cold turkey. So you can at least do some, like the, artificial sugars. And so, with that being said, that's also just let us know as, people that are diabetic or non-diabetics, we still have to be careful even with the artificial sugars, and I think about it like this: everything in moderation. If we're gonna do it, don't do too much of it. That's how I look at things. So I try to be careful, with making sure we don't get too much of a thing. So thank you for that, sharing that with us. I'm gonna try to find my place back in the chat.
I just wanted to mention that for me, I can't have artificial sugars because of, it's got to be a natural source.
Right.
Because of the interstitial cystitis. Because if I start those again, I go down the same road. So it's just for me. It's not, I'm not saying that for everyone.
Correct.
You have to do what's right for you. But
exactly,
this is what I have to do. So.
Right. Exactly. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes, and everybody is different. You have to, and everybody is different, and everybody is different. So yes, we definitely have to, make sure that's why it's so important to make sure you're talking to a doctor. If you can afford a dietitian, that you have a dietitian. If you're diabetic, if you're a PCP, they may want you to go to an endocrinologist, because an endocrinologist can help you because they specialize in diabetes, and other things. So yes, thank you for that, Paula. All right, so Positive T says, question. I'm just tuning in, so you probably have already answered, but this is Mounjaro for life or plan to stop at some point. Thank you, Positive T, because she did not say that yet.
No, but yes, I do plan to stay on it.
Yes.
For life, because it's, managing my A1C.
Yes.
And it's managing my diabetes. So yes, I plan to stay on it. Absolutely.
Right. Awesome. And Positive T, she has so many different scaled and non-scaled victories, to share, that she shared tonight, with us, so I can understand, wanting to, don't mind, staying on this medication. Awesome. And she's tried other medications, Positive T, Ozempic, Rybelsus, metformin, and those did not work for her. So where it may work for others, it did not work for her. She's even gained weight, on Ozempic. She had a rash with Rybelsus, and so yes, when she metformin wasn't working for her either. So yes, Positive T, she was able to get on Mounjaro, start her Mounjaro journey. She lost 79.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get those 2 pounds in there.
Right. And so many different non-scale victories has happened because she has been on this better health journey since Mounjaro. Mounjaro has done her very well. Yes. But not only that, she has done very well herself, doing the natural things that it takes, as well as this tool Mounjaro, to help her become better at health. Yes, reclaim her health. Awesome, Paula.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing this information with us and giving someone hope, out there. Yes. All right. So let's see. What else is there that see if I have another question. All right. So movement. Yes. Amy says, yes, movement, water, everything. They're everything. The more you have, the more you will want. Exactly, Amy. Thank you for, spreading that as well. Yes. Greatly appreciate you. All right. Payment says, Omia and Nourish has a app to log food, hydration, movement, and your feelings. Check it out, y'all. Yes, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us, Pammy. And Nourish, again, is a nutrition company. They help you, dietitian. They have registered dietitians that can help you with food. I should say that.
Know if they want to know about my feelings some days.
That's positive. My subscription to lose it is going to run out, so that might be helpful. Thank you, Pammy, for that. Okay. Thank you for that, honey. All right, Miss Cookie. She says, "That's great, Paula. That movement worked for you. Did you start walking or what? What do you do now?"
Yes, I started walking first.
Yes.
And then my husband and I joined a gym because the weights came in. Weight training, you need to build muscle. So we started, I started working out with weights.
Yes.
And I'm happy to say that I did an inline body scan there at the gym, and my BMR is actually increased.
Awesome.
Which means that I'm building muscle, and I'm really happy about that. But yes, I started out with walking very begrudgingly, and I'm embarrassed to say I wasn't real happy about it. But I did. I walked, and then now I'm using the bike at the gym, and just the weights, and yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So you progressed,
Yes.
with your exercise, and that's awesome. And of course, again, it's up to you what you have to do what you have to do for your journey.
Mhm.
But just letting you all know that both Paula and I was able to get that movement in, and then when we at some point started doing strength training, and it
Mhm.
has helped both of us tremendously. Also different aerobics and things of that nature. So awesome. And it's helping us build muscle. Great stuff.
Right,
Thank you.
and it helped with your mood too, because
Yes.
before I started this journey, I was in a bad place mood wise,
Okay.
but that is something that has drastically changed.
Right.
And I'm thankful for that. And, at first I didn't want to do the weight training,
Mm-hmm.
but I started slow
Mm-hmm.
and, just kept plugging at it. And now I actually enjoy it.
Awesome.
I can't believe I'm saying that, but I do.
Yes, I love it, Paula. Same here. I used to go to the gym, but I was going to the gym this years ago to do Zumba. I would never
Yeah,
go to get the weights, pick no
right.
weights up. I wasn't doing the walking. I wasn't going. At one point I did start like doing the old Stairmaster. They would
Mhm.
have. I used that for a little bit here and there, but I was off and on, off and on, off and on. And then, when I started my Mounjaro journey, in 24, at some point after a while, I started walking, a little bit at a time. You don't have to push yourself, too
Right.
fast. And then as time progressed, I was like, okay, I'm good with that. My legs start hurting real bad, and I had to calm down the walking for a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? What I tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and start strength training. And I want to keep moving. My body craved something. And so I started the strength training, at home first, with like 5 pounds, weights, and then, 8-pound weights. Then I gradually went up to 10-pound weights. I was doing, 5 pounds if I had to lift my hands up, but, downward, I would do, the 10 pounds. And then after a while, I was able to do the 10 pounds. If I go up in the air, I can do 10 pounds, and so, to do 10, even going downward. But sometimes, like if I'm going outward, sometimes because, I may have to still use the 5 pounds. So, we tweak as we go. We tweak and
True.
progress as we go. So awesome. So that's just let you all know that maybe thinking about starting to strength train. You can always start with body weight. You can start with, like using water bottles, let them be filled with water, and use water bottles. You can use cans, like vegetable cans, hold those. You can start somewhere, and you don't want to hurt yourself, so you want to try to build form first. Get your form right first, meaning you're holding yourself properly, you're holding the weights properly, and then you can move up as you go. So thank you for that, Paula. Thank you for that. All right. So Mia says, I don't think GLP-1s take away our ability to do it the old-fashioned way, which is the natural way, right? People call it nowadays. They give me the ability to make healthy, positive choices that I absolutely did not make before. But if the person you are trying to have led you is already making you feel less than for your GLP-1 choice, then we probably won't last long together. So you want to make sure that the people that people are that you're talking to, the relationship you're building are trying to give you atta girls, or atta guys, or, just cheering you on, just encouraging you, not those who are trying to, bring you down, okay? Because you decided to use this medication. You do whatever that serves you best, Don't feel shameful. Don't feel, don't think it has to be a perfect journey, don't let people get in your head, that, you're doing this, you're cheating or whatever. you have to do what serves you best. You have to do what serves you best. So Miss Paula chose to, get on a GLP-1 medication. I chose to get on a GLP-1, but GLP-1 medication. Many of us have chosen that, and that's fine. There are people that, are in, a part of the Sweet Life Squad that chose to not get on a, GLP-1 medication, but they still trying to reclaim their health. And that's fine too. There are more ways. There's so many ways to get healthy, and you do whatever serves you best. Okay.
Sure.
So I'm with you on that. All right. And you want to align your goals, that whatever is going to take, help you take care of you. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. Take that off here. Let me see if I see anything else. This might be something. Registered dietitian suggests that when I have chocolate craving, I can have Yasso ice cream. Okay. And Pammy is on a Mounjaro journey. But her A1C is really good as well. So, and she can make protein balls and dip them in melted chocolate chips. Yes. Okay. So thank you for that, Paula. Question. Miss Vanessa says, Paula, I know you said your son is on Zepbound. Also, how is he doing on his journey?
He's doing well.
Awesome. Great stuff. All right. And then Pammy says, oh, yes, Gina interviewed Southwestern dietitians. I forgot about them. Yes. All right. So let's see a little bit down further. All right. So Pammy says, Paula, my best friend had that too. The IC is what they call it for short. She was a correctional officer and had to work in the control room so she can go to the restroom. Awesome. Hopefully she's doing well, Pammy. And she said she's heard others since, that has had that too. And I did put in the chat too, Paula, what that is, what IC is. All right.
Exactly. That's exactly how it feels.
Yes.
In fact, that's what I thought I was having over and over and over, and it was not that at all.
Right. Okay. And then Pammy says, I went to a neuro gynecologist too, but it was old lady bladder issues because she's 55, 56, and I get bladder urgency. Right. So
I think she meant uro gynecologist. It's
Uro.
urologist.
Okay. Thank you. You're a gynecologist. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Pammy is saying, hey, she's menopause age and she has, bladder urgencies. So a little bit of urinary incontinence she's feeling. So we got you on that, Pammy. Sometimes that bladder gets, as we age, everything kind of goes downward. And so sometimes, we have, what's called urinary incontinence. So, and it's harder to hold your water.
Yeah.
I say it that way. Yes. So you gotta go right now. I don't know if y'all heard that commercial. Yes. Oh my gosh. And they have something for that too. Right. All right. So let's see. All right. I think we're closer to the end of this conversation. All right. I was out on a medicine to help my bladder hold more. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So she was put on a medicine to hold her bladder. Now she did tell y'all, she warned y'all, she may have some typos coming. So yeah, that was her. I get you, Pammy, because I had the same. She said, I wish my bestie had that advice back when she was suffering. So it was the late 90s, early 2000s. Sadly, she was in a, oh my gosh, car accident 2003 before it was easy to see a dietitian at all. Gotcha. All right. So Miss Felicia Marie B says, Kim J and Paula have the best laugh. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
Yes. All right. Pamela says, right, love, the laugh. You all may had.
Yes, I've heard you laugh, Pam.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So Miss Paula, do you have anything else to share with us tonight? And I'm trying to think of some things that I want to share with you, share more.
I had all these like notes and everything, but
Yeah.
some of them we've already covered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You said you went on a 4-month stall. I remember you saying
I
to me.
did 4 months. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. It was
Yep.
all
Yep.
I'd go up and down.
Right.
Up and down.
Right.
Like 2 to 3 pounds.
Yes.
And this just that staggered thing.
Right.
But yeah, I finally did come out of that.
Right.
And those actually plateaus, that's one thing I do want to say. Plateaus,
Yes, that's what I was going to get into.
plateaus are normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal to have that happen. In fact, it's a rarity if you're one that doesn't have plateaus, because your body is adjusting to where you are before you start dropping again. So it's an ebb and flow situation. Just like the tide comes in and it goes out, and it comes in and goes out. Think of that as the same thing with a plateau, because it's, most likely it will happen.
Yes.
And sometimes it happens more than once or twice in the journey.
Yes.
But it's okay. It's not something you've done wrong. It's just your body is. And yeah, you can tweak some things too to get things moving. But, until your body is ready to keep going, you're going to stay right where you are.
That's tea. That's tea, y'all. Yes. Awesome. Thank you for that. I wanted to make sure we said that before we got off, because I know, like you said, at some point, people are going to hit that plateau, especially depending on how much weight you have to lose,
right?
Have to reduce.
And it's not a bad thing,
right?
It's just your body.
Yes.
Setting, it's a set point.
Yes.
Before it goes and continues on.
Yes. So after a while, I don't know if you all remember, I was saying, on one of my lives, don't be weary in well doing.
Yes.
Because if you continue on with your journey, you don't faint, you will reap the benefits. You will reap the harvest. Okay. At some point, you never know. God knows, but we don't know. So, continue with, what you're doing, what you know to do is right. You can tweak some things if you know that you're not doing certain things. Like, for instance, with Paula, her son told her, hey, words of wisdom out of the mouth of babes, even though he probably was grown, but still out of the mouth of babes. That's our babies, right? So,
right.
That being said, being able to listen at, you don't have to be older and wiser. Sometimes young folk gives words of wisdoms as well, So with that being said, she decided to get the moving, get the stepping, right?
The going.
The great way of getting the stepping, right? Hey, I remember Martin. I don't know if you used to look at Martin back in the day, in the 90s, but that was something he would like, get this stepping. Leave his house, his apartment. But yes, the get the stepping we're talking about today is moving, your body craves it. So yes, I think that is awesome. Thank you for that, Pammy. I'm sorry about Pammy. Thank you for that, Paula. Paula, the other P. Yes, for that. Because that's very important. And I leaned in a little bit like this because I am in a little plateau myself, and it does get frustrating, y'all. It does. I understand it, right? I'm sure, Paula, you was like, a little bit too at times, but we do know that if we continue to do well and tweak the things that we need to tweak, to get better, doing everything in our power. And just like that serenity prayer says, knowing the difference, do what we can do, and the things that we cannot do, we accept those things. And then we have the wisdom to know the difference. That's what we're asking God for, So yes. All right. So I do want to mention, also, I know, Paula, when we talked, you said not only, did you lose weight, which is a scale victory, but you also, it helped with your IC, which I put in the chat so everybody know what that means. because I can't say that word, honey. Nope.
Interstitial cystitis.
All that. All of that. Okay. Ulcers in the bladder is what it, kind of, lets you know. But not only that, your insulin resistance, it is, much better. So you're insulin sensitive now. You have fatty liver disease, you said, and that is, you don't have that any longer, right? Okay. Kidneys were healed. Yes. Awesome. And then it also resets your brain where you don't have as much brain fog anymore, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Exactly.
And I remember you also saying it was a lifesaver. It's a lifesaver. Being able to get on this medication, Mounjaro. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Awesome.
100%.
Yes. So let's see. Cookie says, I was one of the lucky ones who never had a plateau. You were blessed, honey. It wasn't even just luck. It was a blessing from God that you did not have a plateau. So awesome. I'm glad I'm glad I didn't, because I know it would have discouraged me big time. And of course, it definitely is discouraging. I remember Alonda 180, she was in a plateau for over a year, I think it was. And yeah, so it was very discouraging, but she has some good information on it, showing her journey. If y'all want to go check her out, for those who, maybe in the chat that's never seen her before, or, those on the replay.
Well, the thing that I'm thankful for is it actually made me stronger. Mm-hmm. So that which does not kill us makes us stronger.
Yes.
And awesome. So that, and also I can actually help people that, that have the same issue.
Yes.
It's a win-win for me.
I know that's right. I often, say, it's a testimony, you sometimes go through things for many different reasons, but God has given you a testimony. He turned your ashes into beauty.
Yeah.
So yes.
Good analogy. Yeah.
Right. So give your testimony, share it with everybody you can, it's because it's going to help someone, I often say, God does it for our good. He actually does it to, he helps you through this, your journey, life's journey, to help, when we share, it's for the benefit of others. And then it also is for the glory of God. Okay. It's for his glory. So for our good, for others' benefits, and for his glory. Okay. Yes. All right. So Pammy says, when I went to the gym, close to 300, I went to water aerobics. Okay. That's another great tip. You can do water aerobics as well. That definitely helps people that may be, a little heavier, and they feel like, they can't, it's hard on their knees. If a person, you don't even have to be
on your joints.
Right. Yes. It's definitely easier on your joints. Correct. So you may be a little bit more, not used to you're very sanitary. Is how you say it. Sanitary.
Yeah.
Sedentary. Is that how you say it? Sedentary. Yes. Sedentary. You may be sedentary, which means that you're a couch potato. And so you can be smaller, you don't have to be 300 pounds, but whatever it is, or you may have issues with your joints, or what have you. Yes, water aerobics definitely helps.
Really good.
She said she kept her towel on until last minute, and I just entered the pool. Yes.
Well, good for you, Pam.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Exactly. Did Zumba and treadmill, elliptical. I never went to the other side. Gotcha. Thank you so much, Pammy, for sharing that. Very important. And that's okay, Grant. You were in the bushes. Thank you so much. He was so I'm happy for your safe arrival to Pigeon Forge. Have a wonderful time there. This is your second time, I know, that you told us about Pigeon Forge. Hello, Stash Cash. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. He says hello in the chat. Yes, yes. This is Paula Hardin, Stash Cash, and she is telling us about her, journey to better, health. And she's on Mounjaro, GLP-1 medication is helping her, manage diabetes and some other things that she's, health challenges that she faces, and she is doing a great job on it. So that's what this, segment is about tonight. All right. Thanks for coming in again. All right. Grant says you are liking your first live, Paula. Are you liking your first live?
Sure, because I'm with Kim J, the queen of the streets here.
Thank you so much, Paula. I don't know if everybody feel that way, but thank you so much. I love you so much. Yeah, better together. Yes. Okay. I am a type of queen. I blame the phone. That phone is so small, even though it's a nice size phone, it's still tiny. It's still tiny.
Right.
I got it. Look, we were in the typewriter age era.
Right.
I gotcha. Look, hey, in the big typewriter where it's like everything is spaced out. All the keys are spaced out, right?
Right.
And then, right. And even, when we got the first computer, right? Yeah, spaced out. So Amy says, this has been such a delight. Thank you so much. Yes, that delight of flight. This is a delight for sure. Thank you so much, Amy. I can't stress how proud I am of you, Kim J. Thank you. Sorry, just a moment. All right, excuse me. I got choked up, Amy. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, I done got something in my throat. All right, sorry. This has been such a delight. I can't stress enough how proud I am of you, Kim J. More power, more love to everyone, and hope to catch you all again soon. Good night and rest well. Thank you so much, Amy. Rest well to you as well. Good night. Hope to see you again soon, love. I just ate a pecan and then I got stuck in my throat, Lord.
Oh,
Nice to meet you, Paula.
thank
God
you.
bless you, Sash says. Ooh. Kim J will pay you later for saying that, Paula. I know that's right, Grant. Yes. Can you drop Paula's link? I'm going to connect. Let me see. Is somebody in the chat that can do that for me? Oh my goodness. Amen. Oh my gosh. Amen. That's Amy, y'all. I learned about Amy in 2024 on Downsizing Divas channel. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And she's lost a good little bit of weight. I think she was on Zepbound. She lost a good little bit of weight. She's she's in I'm sorry, oh my God. She was a police officer. Yep. And she lost a good number of weight. I can't remember how much, but she did very good on Zepbound.
Oh, good.
Excuse me.
Glad to hear that.
Yes. All right. But her busy schedule, she sometimes don't, get a chance to like be on YouTube anymore.
Right.
So she came back to, check on me. I'm so happy and proud that she came back and she's doing well. Cookie says, I got to go. I enjoyed the interview. Good job, Kim J and Paula. Good night, chat. Good night, sweetheart. Thanks for coming in. Good night. Good night. All right. Oh, sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh. Come on. Okay. So Amy says, drink your water, move those bodies, make healthy choices, and enjoy the success later. Thank you, Amy, for that. Pecan almost took my bestie out. You see that? Oh my gosh, I can't get it together. Brenda says, yes, you both did a great job, ladies. It was great spending the evening with you. Thank you so much, Brenda. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Felicia Marie B. There you go, Sash Cash. Good night, Cookie Ruth says. All right, super water break. I know, right? Okay, Paula, take it home, honey.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you, everyone. It's been fun. I hope you've learned something and something you can take with you. One thing I will say about a provider is if your doctor is not listening to you, look for another one if you can, if that's possible at all, because you need a doctor that is compassionate and is going to work with you. That is one thing I wanted to say. So.
Thank you so much, Paula. Now, Paula is not yet a content creator, but she is planning on, maybe she's thinking about it, y'all.
I'm thinking about
becoming a content creator. She has so much to offer us. Sharing her testimony with us has been wonderful tonight. Thank you so much. Paula, again, can't thank you enough for coming on episode 2 of Sugar Talks. So if for some reason you're in the chat and you know someone, or that you're on a Mounjaro journey and you want to, come up on an episode of Sugar Talks, please let me know. You can email me. My email is going to be in the description. It's actually in the main section of my channel, but also I'm going to put it in the description for tonight. Those on the replay, you can let me know as well. You can send me an email and I'll try to get the email, and we can, schedule some time. Paula, again, I greatly appreciate you tonight. Much love. I pray that you can get to that 85 pounds, by May 3rd of 2025. That will be in my prayers for you. And excuse me. Let's see if there's somebody else saying something in here. Mia says hi to Stash Cash. Let's see. Yes. I'm sure he will, Pammy. Okay, watch for him on Saturday. All right, thank you for that. That's my email address. Thank you, Phoebe, for that. Okay, thank you, Mia. She sent one. Okay, good. Amanda. Okay, got you. Thank you so much, Mia. Greatly appreciate you. All right, she has prediabetes. Yes, for those who are prediabetes, you can also come up too. Very important for you all, to share your journey as well. Again, a lot of us on weight loss journeys anyway are reclaiming our health, but we just want to get a little bit more, conversation from the diabetic community so that you all can know. We feel you all when it comes to, weight loss, because we have been on, some kind of weight loss journey, right? But just, being able to understand what we go through. A lot of people that are on Mounjaro or, other GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Rybelsus, Trulicity, it's others, but have trouble losing weight. So I'm happy to be able to announce about the weight loss, so we talk about that too here. But like you said, the medication was made for people that are diabetic, and then along the way they found out that it also can help with weight loss and other things as well, other ailments that people have. So I'm happy to be able to share this with you all, by having people come on Sugar Talks and talk about it. So Sugar Talks, that's just saying the diabetic community or pre-diabetes. If you have pre-diabetes, you can come on Sugar Talks as well to kind of talk about, what's going on in our lives. Okay. All right. And also I'm going to have someone too that come on they're on Mounjaro now, but they're not diabetic. That's how the insurance company, the PBMs, had some issues with her being on Zepbound, and she's going to come on and talk about it herself. And she's not diabetic, but I'm going to have her too. So if you have, something like that going on as well, you can talk to me as well. Okay. Thank you all so much for coming on tonight, for being with us, for hearing Miss Paula's journey. We got you. Thank you, Pam, for clearing that up. All great perspectives for sure. Yes. Thank you so much. I love the diabetics. Thank you. We love you too. Yes. That's Bessie. Love you so much. Better together. She has a great story, and I wanted to take. Okay, got you. You want us to talk about it? Awesome. Thank you, Mia. Thank you. Me too. Insulin resistance is a real issue. Yes. Yes, you don't have to be diabetic to have insulin resistance. And when you have insulin resistance, you can become diabetic. So that's why it's important to make sure at that stage, if you become insulin resistant, well, first of all, try not to become insulin resistant, right? But if for some reason you are insulin resistant, you can, taper that back down so that you won't be that way, so you can become more insulin sensitive, so that you won't hopefully ever get diabetes, right? And that's on period meal. Yes. He's going to tell you, he's going to give you some information about his pigeon forage journey. Ooh, that's something to think about. It'd be nice to hear about.
Thank you.
Paula, I love you, sweetheart. You did wonderful, honey. Yes.
I love you too.
You both are fabulous. Thank you so much, Mia.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to let Paula go, let you all go. You all have a wonderful night and a fantastic Friday, yes, and beautiful weekend. All right. All hearts and minds are clear? I end my lives like that. Are all hearts and minds clear?
Yes.
And if so, we're going to end the night with a God bless you. Thank you for coming, and God bless your journey. Until next time, y'all, be blessed.
Amen.
Peace. Thank you. All right, we're in the stream now.